Oh, Ja'Marr Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the New York Giants 2015 rebuild, changing their history. Here on Madden 24 on the PC. I know I put out a community post recently on my channel. If you're not following the community tab, go check it out. I post little updates every once in a while to keep you guys updated on what's going on. And I posted in there that EA, in their most recent update, had broken the game in terms of broken the ability to mod. They closed some sort of loophole or something, some sort of opening that modders were using to get in. And now the modders are still struggling. As of recording this video, modders are still struggling to get the modding back up and working. But I did find a workaround. I talked about this in the Desperados episode 1. I talked about how I found a way, if you turn off the online mode on EA, if you go offline, then the mods still work. So as of right now, I'm trying to load up as many videos as I can while that's still a possibility. So here we go. We're going to be doing the next episode of the Giants rebuild. We just had the 2020 NFL draft, and we're getting pretty good. The team is growing. A lot of our young players are finally coming into their prime. I'm super excited. We got another year of Patrick Mahomes. I'm hoping he can take that next step and become the Patrick Mahomes we know of today. But I guess we'll find out. If you're excited, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started. It is the year 2020. We all know that this year in real life, not a great year. A lot of bad stuff happened in 2020, including the world shutting down. But that is an alternate reality. We live in a reality where Patrick Mahomes plays for the New York Giants, and we are looking to take the world over. Justin Jefferson, who we got in that draft, is looking to become the guy for us. I'm hoping he can become that guy because Odell is getting a little bit older at this point. He's 27. He's going to continue to get older, obviously. That's how people age. That's how age works. And we got a young guy in Justin Jefferson who could be that next guy, along with Tyreek Hill. And then on defense, we've got a very, very good defense. I like it. At the end of last episode, I tried to trade Jadeveon Clowney, but we didn't have the cap room to make it happen. So we couldn't do that. So Brian Burns will again have to sit behind Jadeveon Clowney until we can figure out how to move on from him and then have Brian Burns eventually start. But I like this team a lot. We've got good corners. We've got good safeties. Well, we got one good safety, and then Geno Stone, who's not really a safety, but he's a safety, and then he's not a high overall. Maybe if he has a good season, he can develop. We got good linebackers. We've got good D-line. I like this team a lot. I really, really do. And without further ado, it's time for the most important part of every episode. It is to load in the draft class. It is the 2021 NFL Draft. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts, Ja'Marr Chase, Jalen Waddle. It's such a good draft class. It's such a good draft class. Micah Parsons is there as well. Even the quarterbacks are pretty darn good. Well, on paper, in theory, the quarterbacks are pretty good. Running backs, in theory, are pretty good. Receivers are unbelievable at the top. Ja'Marr Chase and Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith. Unbelievable receivers at the top of the class. So let's go through. Let's put some people on our board. So right off the bat, we don't need a quarterback because we have Mahomes. But if we could grab a Justin Fields or a Mac Jones or a Trey Lance even, if they fall, we'll keep those guys in play. Those guys could be good backups. Running backs, Najee, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Trey Sermon, even Michael Carter and Amandre, Chuba. I mean, there's very good depth down the board. Elijah Mitchell down the board. Very, very good depth in this class at running back. Receivers, I'm obviously going to put all three of these guys on there. We're probably not going to be in position to get any of them, but if some reason we are, then obviously I'll think about it. I'll even put Tony on there. I'll put Elijah Moore and Rondale Moore on there. Who else do I want on the board? Amon-Ra for sure. He's down the board at 3 to 4. We could definitely grab a value pick there. That would be really, really good. But after that, I mean, Ben Skoranek, do we really want him? Probably not. He's going to be super low overall. But I don't see anybody else that's going to really make a difference. So we'll go to tight ends. I'm obviously going to put the two best ones on there, Pitts and Freiermuth. Pitt. And then we'll put Tommy Tremble on there. He could be a nice value pick. Brevin Jordan even down the board a lot. A lot of those guys could be good pickups. Offensive tackles, I'll put Darrisaw, I'll put Jackson Carman. We're probably not going to be in play for Rashawn Slater, but you never know. That's probably going to be it for the tackles, left tackles at least. Guards, Landon Dickerson, Tevin Jenkins, Liam Eichenberg. Certainly could be in play for them. Dylan Raduns. Or Radins, I forget how he pronounces his name. Centers, we got to go for Creed Humphrey. We know that he's one of the best centers in real life, so we definitely got to put him on our board to keep an eye on him. And I may even put some scouting points on him just to make sure we know he's good. Elijah Vera Tucker, Wyatt Davis, Quinn Miners even. There's a lot of guys. Trey Smith, he's a potential undrafted. We know how good Trey Smith is. So that's really, really big. That's a really big value pick. Penei Sewell's unbelievable. The rest of the right tackles aren't amazing. Sam Cosmi's okay. We could get like Alex Leatherwood and revive his career, but that could take a little bit of time because he's probably going to be normal development and a low overall. And in Madden, that struggles. Offensive line struggle with that. So it's probably not going to be the best idea, but we could take a look. Defensive line, Greg Rousseau, Christian Barmore, Boogie even as a possibility. Who else do I like on this? Not really anybody else. Obviously Micah Parsons we're going to put on there. Peyton Turner, Joseph Asai. Maybe Shaka Toney. Probably not, though. D-tackles, Onwuzurike, excuse me. Aline McNeil, Milton Williams could be a nice. Adigizua could be something, I guess. The D-tackle class, as far as like name value, isn't amazing, but there could be some nice backups. I mean, we got Eric Armstead and Big John Hankins right now, so it's not like we're in desperate need. Outside linebackers, you got Odafe Owe, you got Azeez Ojulari. Not a bunch else. Jordan Smith, which I think is the brother of Jalen Smith. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they look very similar, so I'm pretty sure that's his brother. Or related in some way. Middle linebackers, I'm definitely looking at Nick Bolton. I'm looking at Divine Diablo. I'm looking even at an Ernest Jones type. I've got some value. Dylan Moses down the board at an undrafted. He's going to be super low overall and no development trait, but could be good. Jalen Phillips, Jamin Davis, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, JOK, Pete Werner, Baron Browning. There's some good right outside linebackers we can grab if we are in the market for one. Corners, obviously PS2, Caleb Farley, Newsome, Stokes, Campbell, Asante Samuel Jr., St. Juice, Adebo. There's some really good corners in this class that we can grab. Sean Wade, even though he's really probably a safety, that's probably more his game. Nate Hobbs. We got value at corner, that is for sure. We don't have to worry about not missing out on a corner or missing out on a corner because there's really good value in this class for corner. Javon Holland, unbelievable. Caden Stearns even could be a nice pickup. Jason Pinnock. DeMar Hamlin's here. We'll put him on the board. And then strong safeties, you've got Trayvon Moehrig, you've got Tyree Gillespie, Talanoa Hufanga. It's a good DB class. I'll even put Smoke Monday on there simply because of his name. It's a very good DB class, that is for sure. We'll put Evan McPherson at kicker just because. Oh, and Presley Harvin, we'll put him on there. And I feel like I have to put Drew Chrisman on there because he's a Buckeye. All right, we're obviously not going to be in play for Trevor Lawrence, and we wouldn't need Trevor Lawrence in the first place. But this is a very, very good draft class. We are looking very nice for bringing in some good players. Let's take a look at our assets. What are we working with in terms of draft picks before we make any decisions early on? We are working with a 3rd round pick, a 5th round pick, and that's it. That's not good in terms of getting extra players in the draft. Okay, we'll have to reevaluate. I am going to change some X Factor abilities, by the way. Odell doesn't need Wrecking Ball. He needs Double Me. He also needs to have Route Technician. He needs to have route apprentice. He needs to have probably wide receiver apprentice and maybe deep end elite. We'll give him those for right now. And then we'll change Nick Chubb's as well, because he should have probably freight train. And then he should get tank. Although tank, hit sticks don't really matter on offline. But he could definitely have arm bar. That could be good. And maybe reach for it. He's not high enough to get any of the good ones right now, so we'll keep those. And then we'll give him... we'll give him Bruiser right now. Those will be the ones he has off at the beginning. Obviously, when he grows a little bit more overall, we'll give him some other stuff. And then Eric Flowers, what abilities can he get? He's got some good ones. He's got all day. He needs to have another one. He needs to have probably post up. Blockers with this ability are almost guaranteed to win any double team block they are engaged in. He's not really in double teams because he's on the left side. Screen protector probably should have. Polar Elite's good. Natural talent could be interesting. But he probably should have Nasty Streak. And then he needs to get Secure Protector, but he doesn't have 90 overall pass protector just yet. But Secure Protector is something that he needs to have. So we'll keep him with all day right now, but he needs to have Secure Protector for sure. And then on defense, do we need to change anything? Bosa's got... Probably doesn't need to have... What is that? Bruiser or something? Oh, Momentum Shift. He probably should have either Unstoppable Force or Fearmonger. Probably Unstoppable Force. And we'll give him Speedster. We'll give him Swim Club. And Edge Threat for sure. And then he can't get the extra abilities just yet. Alright, so those are everything we need to update. I'm going to simulate to the Week 8 mark, the midseason mark. And we will see how this team is doing. What playbooks are we running again? I need to refresh myself. We are running not a great scheme fit on offense. We have a chance to run a base 4-3, which is I think already similar to what we're running. We're running Packer, that's right. We're running Packer playbook on offense because Aaron Rodgers always dominates. And funny enough, we're playing the Packers with the first game of the season, but I will simulate to the midseason mark to week number 8, and I will bring you guys back in so we can do all the scouting and stuff up until week 11, and then we'll go from there. So hopefully we have a good start to the season. We have arrived at the midseason mark, week number 8, and we currently sit at 7-0. So something between the players developing and the Packer playbook, something is working to give to give ourselves a 7-0 record. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat. We have Justin Jefferson at an X Factor. Not a surprise there. I like our receivers a lot. On the defense, we're looking pretty good. We've got good morale going. Everybody's happy. Everybody's banging. You love to see it. But that is not the most important part of this section. It is to think about negotiations. Jalen Ramsey wants a Supermax. Bosa wants a lot of money. TJ Watt needs a lot of money. Cooper Kupp needs money. Oh, everybody needs money, and I don't have money. What are we going to do here? Basically, we have to win a Super Bowl here, or we're going to lose our winning window, is basically how I see it. Luckily for us, Jalen Ramsey wants to come back. So if we can just rework some contracts from the future, then we can figure this out. Eric Flowers, we can restructure his deal, restructure his contract. That should give us, hopefully, enough money to be able to offer some contracts. And that has just given us negative $47 million. Did I just do a wrong thing there? I may have just messed up on accident. Oh no, we have $25 million. Okay, so we have enough money to at least offer some people some money, but I'm going to not do that just yet. I'm going to renegotiate some new contracts. We're going to restructure some people. And we are going to restructure probably Tyreek. I know we just offered him a contract a season or two ago, but we are going to restructure Tyreek Hill's deal. Perfect. We need to restructure, honestly, probably Odell's deal. Let's restructure Odell's contract. We're not going to have money in the future, that is for sure. But if we can restructure these deals, we can bring the guys back now. Look at that, 85 million. We now have enough money to offer some people at least. So we can get Jalen Ramsey back. Hopefully not on too expensive of a contract like that maybe. He's coming back, perfect. That's a very expensive contract, but at least he's coming back. Joey Bosa probably should get on a long-term deal. I hope he accepts that. He's coming back as well. 41 million. We can work on TJ Watt. He wants to come back too. Brilliant. Cooper Kupp we need to bring back. So we need to give him like a 5 and a 3. Yes, perfect. All right, we've gotten the big name guys re-signed. Now we just need to get the rest of the team. We still have a good amount of money, so we can make things work. George Kittle I want back. We don't need to offer him too much. He's coming back. John Hankins. Okay, that's going to take us into the negatives. All right. Shaquille Griffin doesn't want too much, so we can probably get him back. How about if I offer him that? He says he's coming back. Perfect. 17 million to bring back a few other players like Weston Richburg. 3 and 4. He says that's perfect. So we have 9.9 million. We probably need to work on restructuring a few more contracts, a few more of the bigger name contracts, and then we'll be able to get those guys back. You just got to manipulate the salary cap, baby. All right, so we're going to do probably receiver. I mean, we don't need receiver, but I think the receivers have the most interest that I have. Maybe corner. We're going to do either receiver or corner because that's our specialty. I can't back out now. Let's do corner. We'll do corner as our main focus because there are some amazing corners that I would like to know down the board. So, I mean, that's going to help out. It is going to help out. Okay, so we got that done. Let's skip to... We could take a look at the mock draft, but we'll move on. Let's take a look a few more weeks. Oh, we finally lost. Of course we do. I figured that we wouldn't go undefeated. That rarely ever happens. I get very lucky sometimes. I've only done it twice. I've only gone undefeated twice. We did beat the Steelers, who were also one-loss team, so that's a big win. We play the Cowboys, and we win against them as well. So we are 9-1 at Week 11. We'll throw in the upgrade points, and now is the time where we can do the good stuff. We can do the focus players. Who do we want to focus on? Since we don't have a first or a second round pick, we're going to have to be very critical on who we go for. We'll probably have to go for offensive linemen. Because unless we make a trade, we're not going to be in play for any of these guys. We could be in play for Amon-Ra. That might be nice. I might use one on him. You know what? I am going to use one on him. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then offensive lineman. Maybe we can get in play for a Creed Humphrey for sure. I could probably make a trade to get up to him. Certainly a Trey Smith would be unbelievable to grab. And I might focus on him. We're unfortunately not going to be in play for Micah Parsons. Is there anybody else that I'd want to get besides Trey Smith? We know a lot of the corners now, or at least 95%. The only other guy would probably be Nick Bolton. So I think I'm going to do Nick Bolton. And then maybe at the day before the draft, or the thing before the draft, we can use that on Trey Smith to know a little bit about him. But he's undrafted potentially, so we don't have to worry too much about him. And with our 9.9 million, we need to bring back a couple more people. Bishop Sankey is probably going to be gone. Grover Stewart's probably going to be gone unless we bring him back for depth purposes. I might be able to get Younghoe Koo back if we offer him a 7-year deal and bump it up to $500K. He says he's coming back. Okay, so we got Younghoe Koo back. We need Dion Dawkins back, so we need to restructure some more money. That's for sure. But I will simulate a few more weeks before we do that. How are we going to make a play for a draft pick if we want to? I don't even know if we need one. We probably don't, because then we'd be hurting ourselves probably by trading away some very good players for other very good players that we don't necessarily need right now. as we head into Week 14 against Washington. We get some more good upgrades. Nick Chubb's playing well. This Packer playbook is really working for us with the combination of Patrick Mahomes and Nick Chubb and all the receivers that we have and the defense that we've built. So we're looking pretty good. I'm glad that we're finally... This is what I thought last season was going to be. I thought last season was going to be this type of domination, but we're finally starting to play like I wanted us to play. And it looks like it's working out for us, as we have arrived at 14-1 with 2 games left to go, 2 division games. Ramsey's a true 99. We're just working on his secondary overalls. We take on the Eagles, who are not having the greatest of seasons, but they haven't really had that many great seasons in this series so far. And one final week. Will we complete a 16-1 season, or will it be 15-2? It'll be, of course, 15-2. We lose by 3 to the Lions, but hey, 15-2 is still good enough, obviously, for the number 1 seed in the NFC. I'm happy with that. We take on the Lions in the divisional round of the playoffs. This should be our Super Bowl week, or our Super Bowl season. I would think so. Let's take a look at the boys. How did the boys do before we take a look at stats? So we got Patrick Mahomes playing up to a 96. Wyatt Teller's even playing good. We're still waiting on Elton Jenkins to ascend above Wyatt Teller, but he's getting there. We probably do need to bring in a couple offensive linemen as far as depth. The receivers are obviously amazing. The running backs are good, or at least the top running back is good. And then on defense, Manti Te'o's playing good. Both the edge rusher linebackers are playing good. We've got an amazing defensive line. We got great corners, although we're probably going to lose Amukamara for next season. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Let's take a look at the stats. Stats on the season. How did Patrick Mahomes do? 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, to just 3 picks. Yeah, that's pretty much good enough to get you a 15-2 season. That's unbelievable. Nick Chubb had 1,000 yards with 11 touchdowns. Unreal. 2 1,000-yard receivers. Odell had 1,100 with 8 touchdowns. And Tyreek had 1,100 with 11 touchdowns. And Justin Jefferson, his rookie season, 981 and 6 touchdowns. Is that going to be good enough for Offensive Rookie of the Year? I don't know. Maybe. He's got to be in contention at least. Mark Andrews also had 9 touchdowns. Defensively, 142 tackles from Manti Te'o. Manti Te'o was one of those guys that we just signed in because I thought it'd be funny to have Manti Te'o on the team, and he's actually been really, really good for us. With 142 tackles, Hassan Reddick had 106 with 12 tackles for loss. Ronald Darby had 86, Ramsey had 85. Tackle for loss leader was Bosa with 20. Hankins had 14, Clowney had 13. Sack leader was Bosa with 8, Clowney was 6. So we're not getting like crazy sack production, but we're getting a ton of interceptions with Hassan Reddick. Holy crap. That could be a Defensive Player of the Year right there. 106 tackles, 12 for loss, and 6 interceptions with 2 picks. That's got to be up there, I would think. I know I say that all the time, but it's got to be up there. Ramsey had 4, Te'o had 3. All right. He's got to be at least in conversations. He's got to be. We can take a look at the playoff bracket, though. The playoff bracket is the Steelers and Texans, Dolphins and Jags, us and the Lions, and then Packers and Rams, which is what my camera's covering, so that's what you can't see. But it's time to start playoff action. I don't think we should have a problem with the Lions, but it's Madden. You never know. We got to find out. Here we go. Lions are 9-8 against the 15-2 Giants. It would be the most Madden thing for us to go 15-2 and lose. We beat them 27-24, just barely. They were the team that we just lost to the final week of the season, so I wouldn't have been surprised, honestly, if we would have lost that game. But the Rams actually upset the Packers. I thought it was going to be a Packer-Giants matchup, but the Rams have beaten them. So the 3 seed will fall 38-21. It wasn't even really that close. That's kind of crazy. And the Steelers get upset by the 7 seed. It's a 4 versus 7 and a 1 versus 5. So we are clearly the best team in the rest of the playoffs left in the bracket. But what a crazy... I mean, this is the season for upsets. The highest seed, other than us, is the Jaguars at 4. That's crazy. The 1 and the 3 seed both got eliminated. I mean, the Texans upset the 2 and the 1 seed so far. They're on the Cinderella-type journey. I would not be surprised if they beat the Jaguars and make it as a 7 seed the way that they're playing right now. But we can't focus on that now because we take on the Rams 15-2 versus 12-5. Come on, boys, get it done. We are playing in the Super Bowl, and it's going to be against the Houston Texans. They did it. They have gotten their magical Cinderella run to the Super Bowl. But have they run themselves into a buzzsaw? Are we their kryptonite? Or is their magical 7-seed run going to take them to a Lombardi? That's a very good possibility. They beat them 31-28. We beat the Rams 24-12, so it wasn't really much of a challenge. But this is it. Our first Super Bowl of the rebuild. We finally built this team up. It's cost a lot of money, but we have built this team up to be a Super Bowl chance, or a Super Bowl contending team. Eli Manning is still on this roster, so if we win the Super Bowl, he will get a third Lombardi trophy. Patrick Mahomes is playing up to a 99. He's not a true 99 just yet. Mark Andrews has actually gone up to superstar development, which is awesome to see. Manti Te'o and Hassan Reddick have both gone up to superstar development. Well, that's amazing. I love that. Manti Te'o, I think, is what, 28? He's 29. So he's getting a little bit older, but superstar development's going to help out a lot. And Hassan Reddick, that draft pick is not looking bad anymore because Hassan Reddick is really, really working out now. He's really developing. We've taken him from normal development to superstar development. And we got TJ Watt. We got Bosa, obviously, and Clowney. That's a great combination. Brian Burns is waiting in the wings for his turn. All right. We got to win the Super Bowl or we're going to be in trouble because our winning window is right now. So if we don't win, we're going to have to pay a lot of people a lot of money and the team might have to blow up. Let's go try to end this Cinderella run and squash it before they get the championship because we need it more than they do. All right, since this is our first Super Bowl appearance, we might as well take a look at the opposing team, who they have, and how they've gone from the 7 seed to the Super Bowl. They drafted Baker Mayfield, so he's their starter. He's an 85 overall. Then they've got Jerick McKinnon and Darrell Henderson. They've got Mike Tolbert. They've got DeAndre Hopkins, who's still here. Obviously, they had him when they started, I think, right? Or did they draft him? We started this in 2015, so they would have had him. Brandon Ayuk is here. They drafted him just this past offseason. They've got A.J. Green. They've got a really good receiving core. Hopkins, Ayuk, and A.J. Green. That's unbelievable. Okay. Tight end is Hunter Henry with Dalton Keene. Offensive line is Jake Matthews, Xavier Su'a-Filo, Greg Mance, Brandon Brooks, and Derek Newton. Okay, so it's not a great offensive line, but it's manageable. Derek Barnett on the defensive line with J.J. Watt, we knew because he was here when it started. Jerry Tillery. And then the linebackers are Preston Smith, Benardic McKinney, and Jawan Bentley. Okay. Corners are Kevin Johnson, Carlton Davis, Rico Gafford, and Steve Williams, and Anthony Averett. Safeties are Raheem Moore and Eddie Jackson they got. Kickers, Mason Crosby. All right, so that's your Houston Texans team. It's not special by any means, but it is a 7 seed that's made the Super Bowl. So I guess you can't really criticize them too much. And they are driving down the field, and they score on our high-powered defense. We score right back. Come on, boys. They get 14-7. It's 14-14. Luckily, our offense is just as high-powered. 17-14. At the half, it's 21-17. I don't like this one bit. It's 24-21. It's 31-21. We scored very quickly in succession there. It's 31-28, and we are driving down the field, and we score a field goal. Okay. We got ourselves a field goal, but the Texans are driving. This Texans team, man, they are good, but they turned it over. I don't know what happened there. They turned it over. It's 34-28, and we are at the 1 yard line. We are at our own 1 on 2nd and 15. We must have had a penalty or something. I'm not sure, but I don't like this. We got to run with Nick Chubb, and he's going to have himself a 3rd and 5 that's much more breathable than what it would have been. Good job from Chubby Time there. They want us to go verticals or a flood drive. I like the drive because that gets Odell in underneath, and I like that. And I think I'm going to have to hit Odell. That's going to be open. Odell Beckham Jr. blocked from Mark Andrews. He's got the corner and a 1st down. They still have all of their timeouts, so it's not that we need to hurry. Oh, now they used their first timeout. Okay. 3 minutes to go. 34-28. A chance to win a Super Bowl. Chubb bounces inside. I probably should have stuck it outside, if we're being honest. But they only have 1 timeout left, and they're going to leave us with a 3rd and hopefully manageable as we run this. Bounce it outside. Nick Chubb cuts up field. Nick Chubb, 3rd and 4. No timeouts remaining for the Houston Texans. I wish I could have ran more time off the clock, but that's okay. I think Tyreek might be open across the middle here. That's my go-to read, but it's not going to be there, so Patrick Mahomes steps up and slides down. What a move from the future MVP. Patrick Mahomes has just got himself possibly his first ring in only his, third season? His second season as a starter? Patrick Mahomes, is this following his career? I don't remember. He was drafted in 2017, sat behind Alex Smith for, 2 seasons or 1 season? I don't remember how long he sat behind him. Bishop Sankey was in the game actually there. I didn't even realize. I don't remember how long he sat behind him, unfortunately. But they won the Super Bowl in 2019? I think was their first one. Tyreek could not get up the field fast enough. It's 4th and 1. I think we got to go for this if we're being totally honest. I mean, that's probably not the smartest idea since we are winning and not by much. But I like the Mark Andrews call here, and he's going to hold on first down, and that might have just sealed it. Mark Andrews, the big catch. And the New York Football Giants are going to be world champions again. You love to see it. Sankey will get his carry. Sankey! And the boys have got it done. Under a minute to go. I'm going to let this ride until we get close. And we're just going to take all the time off in the world, baby. We did it. We have technically completed our rebuild of the New York Giants. It's only taken us from 2015 to 2020. But we did it. I hope that this isn't classified as the pandemic season, so it's a Mickey Mouse ring. I don't think so. This is an alternate universe. The pandemic doesn't exist in this universe. And luckily for us, we can take our hands off the controller. Play clock is lower than the game clock is lower than the play clock, so we can let this ride. And we can celebrate our first Super Bowl trophy of the rebuild of the series. It hasn't taken us too long. We just needed to get all the guys in the right spots. We get some championships for Odell, for Justin Jefferson, for that man right there, Patrick Mahomes, for Manti Te'o, Joey Bosa, Big John Hankins, and Justin Jefferson as a rookie. Eli Manning, as you can see, jumping right there. You probably couldn't see him with my camera in the way, but he was jumping back there. Eli Manning gets another championship, so that's number 3 for him, and he might retire after this season anyway. So that's a third championship for Eli Manning. George Kittle gets one. You love to see it. Who's going to get Super Bowl MVP? I'd guess Mahomes, but I don't know how anybody else did. I didn't take a look at the stats. Mahomes does get to hold up the trophy because that's what happens in Madden. The quarterback holds up the trophy, as expected. And we have got it done. Hopefully the first of many to come in this series, both in the Giants series and the Browns series. But we have done it, ladies and gentlemen. We have won our first Super Bowl of the video, of the series, I should say. It's not a rebuild video. Of the series. We need to go back-to-back next season, though. That's going to be a problem with no money. Minshew gets an upgrade point, so does Justin Pugh. And we can see, if we advance to the next week, who won all the awards. I wonder if we won any regular season awards. I talked about possibly winning both Rookies of the Year. We didn't win any of the Rookies of the Year. Mahomes wins the MVP of the Super Bowl, though. We do get Coach of the Year, which is nice. Carson Wentz is the MVP of the league. But we don't win Players of the Year. We don't win Rookies of the Year. Isaiah Hodgins for the 49ers and Derek Brown for the Bengals are your Rookies of the Year. But I don't really care about that because we got the most important one, which is the Super Bowl. Now, you may see the available cap room and say, Juice, what are you going to do? We've won a Super Bowl, so I don't care. No, I do care because I want to go back-to-back. Did we have any retirements? Did Eli Manning call it a career after winning a championship? He did. So Eli Manning gets himself his third Super Bowl ring. This time doesn't have to beat the Patriots to do it. But that is going to be his third Super Bowl ring for him, and he calls it a career, a Hall of Fame career for Eli Manning. And we will ride into the offseason with $90.5 million in negative money. What kind of upgrades did we get? So we see no development from anybody on the offensive line. And then on defense, so we already saw that Te'o and Reddick got their superstar upgrades, but I wasn't sure if there's going to be anybody else. All right, I was hoping maybe Geno Stone would get upgraded, but he's still normal development. And with 90 million in negative money, we might not be able to do anything this offseason. We are obviously going to accept the option of Nick Chubb. Dion Dawkins. Nah, we can do something here. We can figure this out. We can restructure and then push that off for future Juice to have problems with in future episodes. So let's go to the biggest contracts. Jalen Ramsey. I know we just re-signed you. All right, let's go Joey Bosa first. We just re-signed Joey Bosa, but we are going to work some restructuring on his contract to make it more manageable for us. Same thing with Ramsey. Sorry, Jalen, but we got to restructure your deal after we just signed you to a contract this episode. Landon Collins, same deal. We're going to have no money in a couple episodes, but right now we've got money. We should at least. How much money do we have now after restructuring those 3 big deals? We've dropped it down to 75 million. Okay. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to be able to create the money that we need with restructuring deals because we've already restructured a few. I guess we could restructure Clowney, but that's not going to really do anything. Maybe I can trade John Hankins for something. Maybe we could trade John Hankins for a first-round pick. I didn't think about that. Because picks don't cost any money until the salary cap comes into play for like the first-round picks and stuff. But we could maybe get John Hankins out of here. So let's go find John Hankins. And we can offer... Ooh, we can get some good stuff for John. We can get a middle linebacker, Michael Kendricks, excuse me. We can get Trent Brown. We're going to need a guard because we're going to lose Dion Dawkins, unfortunately. Who's got like a top pick in the draft? We can get... Bears have pick 1. How do they always end up with 2 first-round picks? What are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. Can we trade John Hankins to the Cardinals for pick 4? No, we can't do that because the salary cap doesn't allow it. But we could do this if we do it like this, I guess. We can grab Darqueze Dennard, or Darqueze Dennard, whatever you say his name. Carl Joseph, Isaiah Rodgers, Reggie Ragland. Reggie Ragland's 27 and superstar. That could be good. That could be our Manti Te'o replacement because Manti Te'o's contract's also up. That might be my guy. Grant Delpit's superstar development and pretty decently young. I might do the Reggie Ragland. He is 27. I'm probably going to do... Oh, I can't do this? So why are you going to throw me the offers? Due to salary cap restrictions, the offer cannot be accepted. Try another offer. I can't do any of these, can I? No. Why even accept the offers if I can't do any of them? That's just annoying. So we're going to lose these guys for nothing, I guess. But that's the price you pay when you're paying everybody so much money. That is the price that you pay. So we're going to lose out on John Hankins. We're going to lose out on Dion Dawkins, Manti Te'o, all those guys. But we got our championship, so it really isn't that big of a deal. We move on, though. We have no money to sign any free agents, but I just want to take a peek. Because knowing my luck, it would be the one time where this is the greatest free agent class of all time. I've been waiting for it forever. There's not really anybody in here that we need. I mean, we could use a guard, I guess, but there's some okay names in here. Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be a Packer anymore. That's interesting. Let's see. Where did Aaron Rodgers go? Aaron Rodgers is now a Ram. We just beat the Rams in the playoffs this past season. So the Packers no longer have Aaron Rodgers. Very interesting. That's an interesting development. Aaron Rodgers leaves the Packers a few years earlier than in real life. And we move to the draft. We don't have a first or a second round pick, so everybody that's good is going to be off our board. But that's all right, because we got a Super Bowl. I'm going to keep saying that to make it right in my head. I'm going to keep on saying that. It needs to happen. I need to reassure myself that we made the right decision on paying all those guys all that money because we won a Super Bowl. So obviously it's the right thing to do. The future kind of is screwed. Who cares about the future? Screw the future. Mock draft number 1 or mock draft number 5 has Jamar Chase going number 1, Waddle going 2, Parsons 3, Trevor Lawrence 4, Pitts 5, Penei Sewell 6. Wow, this is a crazy mock draft. A lot of big name guys going off the board. The Packers might get their quarterback in Justin Fields. Packer fans, let me know how you feel about that. That could be crazy. All right, so private workouts. We have a 3rd and then a 5th. I don't think we have a 4th either. We need to focus on offensive line. So we need to use... We know a little bit about Creed Humphrey. I hope he falls to the 3rd round. We might have to trade up. I don't know if we can trade up because the cap, we'd have to trade draft picks on draft picks. I definitely want to know about Trey Smith, the majority of it. We probably should do Quinn Miners as well. Although we need middle linebacker now that we don't have... But we could get Nick Bolton. If we could come away with a couple of offensive linemen like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, and then get Nick Bolton, I feel like this would be a really, really good draft. So I don't know how I'm gonna play that, but I need it to happen because this could be a really, really good draft if we could pull that off. I think I'm just gonna use it on Quinn Miners and Trey Smith, and then maybe Josh Myers. I guess it doesn't matter. We already know 80% on Creed Humphrey. We know he's going to be good. Okay. So if we could come away with Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, and Trey Smith, I would say that's a very good draft considering what we don't have. So how do we trade up to get those guys? That's going to be a little bit tricky. Let's start the draft and figure out from there. So number 1 pick in the draft will be Jamar Chase to the Chicago Bears. Jalen Waddle to the Titans. Micah Parsons to the Saints. This should be Trevor Lawrence, and it is. Washington takes Kyle Pitts. Penei Sewell to the Bengals. Zach Wilson to Dallas. Rashawn Slater is the Eagles. Patrick Surtain to the Jets. J.C. Horn to the Browns. Devonta Smith to the Chiefs. Eric Stokes, Bills. Greg Rousseau is Panthers. Jalen Phillips, Falcons. Kwity Paye, Chargers. Peyton Turner, Patriots. I don't really like that one. Elijah Vera-Tucker, Colts. Zaven Collins, Niners. Jamin Davis, Vikings. Kadarius Toney to the Bucks. Raiders get Tevin Jenkins. Pat Freiermuth to the Seahawks. That's interesting. Travis Etienne to the Broncos. Christian Darrisaw, Lions. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka to the Dolphins. And there it is. The Aaron Rodgers replacement, Justin Fields. Christian Barmore, Steelers. Javon Holland, Jaguars. Javonte Williams to the Rams. So Aaron Rodgers now has a running back to give it to. Tyson Campbell, Texans. And the Bears get Landon Dickerson. And then they have another pick because they had our pick. So they get Caleb Farley in the first pick of the second round. And this is where it gets interesting for all of our guys. So obviously we want 3 guys. We want Creed Humphrey, we want Trey Smith, and we want Nick Bolton. So Nick Bolton and Creed Humphrey are both slightly down the board a little bit. So we shouldn't have to trade up super high into the second round. But definitely into the second round, I would guess. And then Trey Smith is a projected undrafted, so we can grab him pretty easily. Hopefully, at least. So let's keep going a little bit. I hope that I don't regret my words. Let's get, hopefully, into the teens. That should make it a little bit easier to trade up. There goes Mac Jones to Philadelphia. Trey Lance to the Jets. Trayvon Moehrig. Come on. Sam Cosmi. Kelvin Joseph. We're into the teens now, like I said. There's still a bunch of guys ahead, but I don't know if teams are going to reach. Teams may need a center. Or a middle linebacker. That's the problem. Rashad Bateman. I don't know if I can wait any longer. The Chargers shouldn't be too difficult to trade up with. And I think I have the staff points already on, like, that make it easier to trade up during the draft or something. So let's go to the Chargers. Ask for pick 47. What do they want for it? They want Eric Armstead, and they want a bunch of picks. Or they want Justin Pugh. That's interesting. You only want Justin Pugh? I don't really have any depth in the offensive line to give you Justin Pugh, but that's an interesting deal. We have no depth on the offensive line, which is why we need these guys. I might do that Justin Pugh deal. We don't have a 4th round pick. We have 2 picks next year. I didn't realize that. Oh, I might do that Justin Pugh deal. The problem is we don't have a depth on the offensive line. That's the only problem. I mean, injuries aren't on. So we could make it work, I guess. I can't do it. No, I have to do draft picks. Oh, that's unbelievable. Oh, I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I thought I was going to be able to do that. Okay. I can give you a 3rd round pick in 2022. That's not going to be good. I can give a 2023 2nd round pick. Okay, that's a little bit better. I can give a 2023 4th rounder. I can't give players away. That's the only problem. Or can I? Can I give a player away? How about I throw in... I can throw in James Washington, I guess. We have good depth at wide receiver. No, okay, so if I throw in James Washington, then the cap space issue becomes a thing. So how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make this work? We probably have to give up both of our 3rd rounders in 2022. I could give him my 4th in 2022. That gets it very close. So what about if I just give up 2 3s? Trade offer accepted. So it's 2 3s, a 2, and a 4 gets us this pick, and we can grab whoever's on the board first. I think it's Creed Humphrey. But we should probably get Nick Bolton because we need middle linebacker, obviously, more than we need center. And Josh Myers is ahead of Creed Humphrey. I think I'm going to grab Nick Bolton first because we need middle linebacker more than we need center. So Nick Bolton, welcome to the team. He's our new starting middle linebacker as a rookie. 87 speed, 84 acceleration. We had to trade up to get you. He looks really good. I hope he doesn't let me down. That should be a good pickup. And now I will simulate a few picks. Pete Werner. Oh, I hope that they make it to the 3rd round. There goes Josh Myers. So now Creed Humphrey goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay. All right. I was hoping he wouldn't go back-to-back, but I don't think we had the assets to be able to get up in the 2nd round twice. It was already took a lot to get into the 2nd round once. So, and that's with the boosted staff stuff, like trading, making it easier to trade. All right, so we will move into the 3rd round. Obviously, Trey Smith is going to be there, so we don't have to worry too much. But now, without Creed Humphrey, we can kind of just draft whoever we want. There goes Alex Leatherwood. I probably would have taken him. We can kind of just get whoever we want. So our board is pretty thin at this point. Baron Browning is still on the table. So is Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs is around 1 to 2 talent. Ooh, Talanoa Hufanga is also on the table. I might take Talanoa Hufanga. It's either going to be him or Baron Browning, I would say. I'm going to take Hufanga. I'm going to take Talanoa Hufanga. 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 85 agility. That's a good player. That's a good player right there. He can probably play free safety. Or actually, I guess we could move Landon Collins to free safety and then move Geno Stone back to corner. That's probably what we'll do. Next pick is the final pick of the 5th round. I don't know who's going to be on the table here. Who's going to be available? So Trey Smith is still there. So is Sean Wade, Dylan Moses. I think I'm going to get Trey Smith here just because I want to grab him. I don't want anybody to take him. So Trey Smith, also hidden development. That's another big pickup for us. We've somehow made this draft work out for us. We didn't get Creed Humphrey, but other than that, we have somehow made this draft work out with what we had with no 1st and 2nd round picks. So we have not many options left on the board. We could grab a punter or a kicker and Evan McPherson, but we have Randy Bullock and we have what's his face, Younghoe Koo, who we just signed to a 7-year deal. We could take Dylan Moses. He's not going to be good. He's going to be a very low overall, and he's going to be normal development. But it's the final pick of the 7th round. It's Mr. Irrelevant. We might as well grab him. He's normal development. He's got 86 speed, 90 acceleration, so he's going to be a good athlete. And we need depth at linebacker. So let's take a look at our team. We got an 87 overall in Nick Bolton. We got an 86 in Hufanga. We got an 83 in Trey Smith. And then we got a 62 in Dylan Moses. I told you he was going to be bad. I don't know if you guys were prepared for how bad he was going to be. Best player in the class was Creed Humphrey at a 90. I tried to get you, Creed. I tried to do it. So it looks like the draft again this year is pretty high in overalls. Again, I didn't make the draft. I just downloaded it, so whoever made it values the more recent draft classes, I guess, more so than the older ones. But hey, it is what it is. We move to the 2021 NFL season next episode. The defending Super Bowl champions are a somewhat new look team, I guess you could say, because we will have Wyatt Teller move to left guard. Trey Smith will start at right guard. Justin Pugh will have to be a tackle. Philip Lindsay's got superstar development somehow. I don't know how that happened. Tyreek has been dethroned as the number 2 receiver. And then on defense, Nick Bolton will start. I mean, we're still a good team. They have Hufanga starting at strong safety. I don't hate that, because that's what he is, right? Yeah, that's what he is. Okay. I thought that we needed a free safety, actually. So that's on me. But I think we're just as good, if not better, than what we just were. So we may have lost a few key pieces, but I feel like we got better in those exact pieces. I feel like we can dominate again and go back-to-back. It's going to be tough because we got no money, and it'll be interesting to see how it happens. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.